So it's 6:10 p.m. Found a campsite for the night. I'm out in the desert, in the Sonoran desert southwest of Phoenix. I met up with a friend in Maricopa and met with her and her family for a couple hours. We went to Denny's. It was nice. It was a lot of fun to catch up. I am in Sonoran Desert National Monument, about 15 or 20 miles west of Maricopa right now. And boy, it's been a long day. A lot of driving. You can see my campsite back there. People have camped out here before. There's several fire rings. There's no one else out here. I haven't seen anyone else camping out here. I really like being back in the Sonoran Desert. I don't make it down here too often. Once every year or two. I just like the vegetation here. I love the giant saguaro cactus. I love the ocotillo, which is what I'm walking to right now. This is one of my favorite desert plants. It's actually blooming right now. I saw some cholla earlier, and there's palo verde and mesquite and just all these great desert plants that I enjoy looking at and enjoy identifying. It was quite the shock for me as I got out of my car at the Denny's. It was, I think, 93 degrees, and last night it was 27 degrees. Man, elevation, huh? Go down 7,000 feet in elevation and this is what you get. There's an American flag on this little rocky hilltop here. It's kind of interesting. Power lines right here, train track right here. I did see a couple trains on it as I was driving on the main road out there. So, I mean, not the most beautiful of campsites because of all these things around here, but otherwise, I'm really happy to be out here. It's cooled down a bit. It's in the 80s now. It'll get down into I think the 50s or 60s tonight. Hopefully I can sleep. Hopefully it won't be too hot. I don't think it'll be too bad. How weird are these? I think this is one of the coolest plants in the United States. I was so excited when I was driving down the highway and dropping in elevation and saw my first giant saguaros. Good morning. I had a good night here at my little campsite southwest of Phoenix, Arizona, in the Sonoran Desert. Trains were coming by all night, but really didn't bother me. I sleep with earplugs in anyway, and so I think one time the shaking woke me up, but otherwise it was a great night, great temperature. I just had a sheet, no sleeping bags on me, which was really nice. Today is going to be a day of just getting little things done. You know, the sad thing is, these aren't even real name brand Pop-Tarts. These are off-brand Pop-Tarts. I just ordered a new selfie stick because my other one, part of it broke off, and I had it sent to an Amazon locker in Tucson. It'll actually be there later today. I did one day or same day shipping, but I'll probably pick it up tomorrow or the next day. But that's a good tip if you're on the road and need to get something in the mail. It only works really in big cities, but if you are near a big city and you need something sent to you while you're on the road, setting up an Amazon locker and sending it to the Amazon locker is a good way to do it. The pistons in this cargo box don't really work, so I have to prop it open with crescent wrenches. But the box is kind of sliding a bit. I don't think it does it when I'm driving, but like if I push and pull on it, I can move it, so I need to tighten these things up. This is my dirty clothes bag, which is empty since I did my laundry yesterday. This is my warm sleeping bag. I'm putting both of these into the cargo box. The panel up here is a little bit dusty, so I'm just wiping it off with a paper towel. Gotta take the kayak down now. The cockpit cover has come off, so I need to put it back on. Got that all taken care of. Now I'll put it back up there and strap it down. Once it's up there, the first thing I do is run the cable lock. This lock right here. Run it through here around the front end of the side rail and then around and into the hole at the nose of the kayak. Now that that's on, I push the kayak forward so that it's not drooping here. See, it's much tighter. It's water refill time. I need to fill up my smaller 1-liter bottles and my little ones. To do that, I use these two funnels that are clipped onto the little front seat basket here. think most of my ice, or all of my ice, has melted in here. So I need to dump it out, dump out the water, and then when I go back to town, I'll probably be there in, you know, half an hour or 45 minutes, I'll put new ice in. This is my new little solar shower that I made. I've tried it out at home. I haven't tried it out on the road yet, but I think I will later today. So I'm gonna fill it up and then stick it in the sun for it to warm up. I'll do another video at some point in the future about how I made this and how it works and everything. Well, I guess we'll see how that goes. I've got it clipped off with a carabiner, so even if it does fall off, it's not gonna go flying and hit a car behind me or anything like that. But I'll drive back into town and check it again there and see how it holds up. Okay, it is 11:40. Spent all morning doing those little chores, those little camp chores. I like this spot. Yes, it was right next to the train track, and it is 91 or 92 degrees outside right now, but it's pretty. I've enjoyed being around the native plants here in Sonoran Desert National Monument. I'm at the store in Maricopa now, and it looks like the water has managed to stay up there. While going into the store, I noticed these water machines over here. 15 cents a gallon, so I think I'm going to fill up a couple of my water jugs. All right, I've got my jug on the shelf there. I put my quarter in. Pretty slick. Filled up this 1 gallon jug, this 3 liter jug, and then part of this other 3 liter jug for 30 cents. Okay, I'm at the Walmart in Maricopa. Got some ice and then a few other things that I'll show you in a minute here. I prefer using ice blocks, but they're harder to find, so I put one 10-pound bag of ice in. Put my food back in. Okay, here's my Walmart haul. Paper towels to replace the paper towel roll that's getting pretty thin right there. Tissue box to replace the box that I normally have strapped behind the headrest here. Trying these out for the first time. Wash wipes. Apparently you can wash the entire car, and they're just like wet wipes that you can wipe your car with, so I can try those out. I also got some for the glass in the car. Got an extra little single-use pack of laundry detergent because I used my other one the other day in Flagstaff. So I'll add this back into my little laundry kit. Some razors so I can touch up my beard a little bit. And then some food, just these little breakfast bars because I'm low on Pop-Tarts, which I usually have for breakfast. And then have you guys ever had this? Chocolate pudding with cinnamon? It is so good. Okie dokie, it's 2:40. I'm going to go drive toward Tucson, and I'm going to camp about halfway between Phoenix and Tucson, kind of near Picacho Peak State Park. Picacho Peak is a famous landmark. It's a really cool looking mountain between Phoenix and Tucson. I've been there before. I've climbed the mountain before. I'm not going to go into the state park today or tomorrow on this trip, but there is a place near there that I've camped on BLM land, so I'll go to that area again and see what I can find. Okay, I just saw that in the spot where I want to camp, I think there are some cars parked there. I think they might be shooting. Yeah, there were a couple of guys doing target shooting up against the hillside where I wanted to camp. So I'm gonna keep driving and see if I can find another little spot to spend the night. Apparently this is a really popular area to shoot because I remember the last time I was here, I could hear people shooting. Now there are signs everywhere asking shooters to be responsible and to pick up their... Oh man, there's someone right here too. Dang it. Just gonna keep going and try to find a place somewhere around this mountain. Okay, so I found a spot. There are quite a few people here shooting guns. Just, you know, setting up targets up against the hillside and shooting. And there are signs everywhere saying to pick up your casings and pick up your targets, but there is so much trash here. There are just thousands of casings on the ground here, and fragments of clay pigeons, and there's like a pumpkin that someone shot up over here. If you want to go out to the desert and shoot stuff up, fine, whatever, that's your prerogative, but clean up after yourself. Jeez, there's just so much of it here. Anyway, the campsite itself is actually pretty. Like the location, the position of the campsite is very nice. Kind of backed up against a hillside here. A nice grove of saguaro cacti over here. Some other friendly desert flora. Here's some cholla. This is palo verde, which I think means something green stick, I think, in Spanish. Let's see if the greenness comes through in the camera. I think it does. The branches and the twigs of this tree are very green, hence the name. And then here's a barrel cactus. Squat little thing. It's about maybe 18 inches off the ground. I think now I'm going to take a shower. Try out my new little shower setup. Should be nice and warm now. I'm looking forward to this little shower. You really gotta watch where you step here. I usually have a comb in my first aid kit for exactly this purpose. So you take the comb, you slide the teeth in like this underneath the spikes, and then push up. But I don't have the comb right now, so I guess I'll just use my Swiss Army knife. Can you imagine if this was embedded in your foot, your leg, or some other part of your skin? Alright, I'm going to get the rest of these out away from my car so I don't step on them again. Alright, so let me show you the setup I've got here. I set up the little shower tent, privacy tent. I hooked the shower onto the end of the kayak. I think I'll take the carabiner and connect it directly to the hole here, so I'd gain another 3 or 4 inches. And yeah, this is the shower setup. Again, I'll talk about this more in a future video if it works well. I'll use it a few times out in the wild and see if I like it. That was such a nice shower. That little shower works really well. And the reason I wanted to make a new hanging camp shower like that is that the one that I used to have, well, I guess the one that I still have, but the one that I used to use, it just went through a lot of water, and I felt like I didn't need to use that much water. With that thing, I took a full shower and used 2 liters of water. Look at this, I still have 1 liter of water left. Once I got to about halfway left, the water pressure started to be not so great. And so I removed it from the kayak and just kind of held it in my hand. And then that way I could get to my legs easier. By that point I'd already washed my hair and my body and I was just finishing up with the legs. But I'm really happy with that. The water was nice and warm. And I like how small it is when it's not being used, how compact that shower is. I'll show it to you once I've rolled it back up, but it worked really well. I put the little side table outside with my with some soap and shampoo and comb and stuff on there. So here's the shower when it's broken down. It gets broken down into two pieces. This, which has the valve on it, and here's the, I guess, the shower head. I tried different numbers and sizes of holes. I went through about half a dozen bottle caps, and this was the best for me. 5 small holes. And then here's the bag. Here's the shower bag. Very small. And so together they're very compact, which is great because I only use this thing like once a week, and so I don't want it to take up too much space. But the fact that it is so small means that I can just stick it in the little bin I have on top of the shelf and barely takes up any space. But space aside, I think it's actually probably the best little camp shower that I've used. I really like being able to fine-tune the water flow with the valve, and I like being able to add different sizes of shower heads onto it, and I'm really happy with it. There's Picacho Peak in the distance behind my campsite. You know, you see a lot of people with awnings on the side of their van or truck or SUV or whatever, RV. And I have a little portable tarp awning setup that I sometimes use. But really I only use it when it's raining, because when it's sunny and hot, you can just sit in the shade behind your vehicle. If it's earlier in the day or later in the day, of course. If it's midday, then yeah, an awning is really great for the sun protection. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna enjoy the sunset here and then get ready for bed. Let me know what your favorite part of the video was, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.